It is time for the royal appointment. I don't think you have to be a psychic or a body language expert to know that the topic is obviously Prince Harry's trial. And Camilla Tominey is back to write this exciting scoop. An exclusive to Telegraph readers, if you will. Guys, we're gonna skip to the bottom. We'll return back to her thoughts on the trial, and you can probably guess a lot of them. But this is so gross that I can't even do the accent. I can't. Be prepared. It is incredibly gross. So beforehand, she's talking about how Harry has pretty single-handedly been focused on the media and their intrusion into his life and others. Quote, "One aspect that has always puzzled me is why the father of two has only ever campaigned on this singular issue and not also drink driving and the wearing of seatbelts." Yes, she is going exactly where you think she is going. Continuing on. In 2008, the inquest into the princess's death found that she was unlawfully killed due to the gross negligence of both the driver of the car, Henri Paul, whose judgment was impaired through alcohol, and the pursuing paparazzi. The cruelty is the point. I almost don't have words because it's so disgusting. She is literally repeating what I often hear trolls talking about on the internet. I'm not going to get into the inquest and the events around Diana's death. I will say there have been concerns over how the investigation was handled. Never have we seen the French investigation. And as she partially admits to, they wouldn't have gotten in a car with Henri Paul if they weren't being chased by paparazzi. The tunnel is a straight, short shot. While it is dangerous to drink and drive and not wear seatbelts, I don't think this accident occurs, not for a second, without the paparazzi pursuing them. It's just so foul. And I try really hard to see the humanity in all people, even Camilla Tominey. But this has really tested my resolve. Is it worth the money? Because I hope it is. You're not working from a moral compass if you write something like this. You're actually barely even working from facts. It just completely ignores the humanity of one of the people who died, Henri Paul, who wasn't known to be a big drinker. Apparently, according to a Channel 4 documentary, Diana, Death in Paris, was not stumbling or acting drunk. He also wasn't supposed to be the driver that night. This is not the point of this video. The whole thing disgusts me. It's disgusting. Back to the top. Prince Harry is a man with a mission to put the press on trial. Yes, the sky is also blue. Water is wet. Going on. Quote, "The Prince 38 has repeatedly referenced how distressing it has been to appear in the witness box, but it is perhaps worth remembering that he was the one who brought this claim." End quote. The victim repeatedly said how distressing it was, but then again, she decided to wear the short skirt and to bring this to trial anyway. Apparently ignoring or totally missing the point as to why he brought these lawsuits, she goes on to say, quote, "He could have settled out of court and avoided this agony, but he has chosen to take it all the way to trial because he considers it his life's work. To reform a media he claims in his witness statement has reached rock bottom." End quote. Agony that can cut like a knife. You know, there could be a moment of self-reflection here, but it's Camilla Tominey, so let's go on. She then refers to Sussex squatters and their suggestion, apparently, she doesn't quote anything, that all journalists hacked phones or worked at organizations that hacked phones. And she goes on to call them trolls. Like, what? Is this your live journal entry? Because this is embarrassing. This is supposed to be a serious publication. Although, really, I'm the real joker for spending money on this. Specifically about the trolls, she says, quote, "How quickly these trolls forget that the world wouldn't even know that phone hacking happened if the rest of the press hadn't reported on the stain on our industry." End quote. You mean the reporting by Nick Davies for The Guardian, right? Are you taking credit as the whistleblower? Because, yeah, it wasn't like the Daily Express, which I think during those years you were at, or the Sun that was like blowing the lid off of this, okay? Yes, there are real journalists out there. She even admits up here that she understands that Harry is also fighting this case on behalf of his beloved mother. But we know what she continues to say later, so Quote, "He doesn't just see this as a case about illegal information gathering, but seems to be treating it as his own trial of the media." End quote. Yes, please keep up. Also, no mention that he is not the only claimant here. He is one of many. What say you about them? Are they also on a personal mission to take down the press? Kind of seems like an important detail, but really only journalists work from facts, so let's move on. Ready for this pretzel that she's about to make? Let's go. "Whatever the outcome of the case, one gets the impression of a deeply unhappy man who does not reflect on his life with much fondness, and that is incredibly sad. It is only right that the media acknowledges its historic role in this, even though it could be argued that Harry has brought most of the recent publicity on himself following the Oprah Winfrey interview, the Netflix series, and his autobiography Spare, not to mention his various legal actions." Ma'am, the fact that you can mention 3 specific moments where he either went on TV, participated in a documentary, or wrote a book on his life is very telling. The media harassment does not change whether he is in the public eye because he has put something out or he is just existing in California. Really, I would just love one of these people just to write, "Honestly, we wanted Harry to fail. We wish he was living in a cave off the grid, unable to make fire because he's a Neanderthal with his wife and 2 children." This kind of writing proves the point he's making, that the media has hit rock bottom, that it's in bed with the UK government, and that a democracy fails without a free press that is operating ethically. Camilla Tominey may not be hacking Harry's phone. Camilla is participating in what Harry describes as the mothership of online trolling. This is from his witness statement. Quote, "Trolls react and mobilize to stories they create. Jumping down a few sentences, how much more blood will stain their typing fingers before someone can put a stop to this madness?" End quote. There is the illegality of phone hacking and surveillance, but there is also a larger issue of ethics and morality in how people like Camilla Tominey cover individuals like Prince Harry. And not limited to Prince Harry, the entire British royal family. Private individuals that find themselves in the public limelight for whatever reason. The system is broken. It's been broken. It was broken when phone hacking was rampant, and I would argue it's probably still going on in some shape or form, especially blagging. And it's still broken now. And to see a little broken part in this larger media ecosystem, report on this without removing any bias, without any self-reflection, with any sense of humanity for the person at the forefront of her stories, that arguably keeps the royal appointment in business because this is all they report on, should alarm everyone. This is not journalism. But beyond that, it's not even humane. It's not. I know the royal appointments are usually fun, and I love having fun with them too, but this one just went too far. It's not okay.